Hey y'all, Happy New Year. So, I, I don't have the best feeling about the upcoming year because there was a lot of bullshit that started. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. A lot of bullshit ever since the COVID-19 thing being released and all of that. Um, just just a lot of shit, and then a lot of shit. Karate kicks to our money, karate kicks to our groceries. We can't find groceries. Karate kicks to the prices of things. It's just been a lot of bullshit. Okay, a lot of relentless bullshit. And so I don't know what's right around the bend, but I know the record hasn't looked good. There has been nothing that works in our favor, and everything that works in everybody else's favor around the world. So, yeah, I'm not going to get started on that. Anyway, before I even get into today's video, I want to show you my nails. Whoa, look at that. This one ended up longer than this nail. I don't know how, so it's got a lot more color to it. And I got little hairs that are sticking to everything, whatever. But these are Ohoras. Okay, so what I did was I put tips on, full cover tips. That's why they're so long. And I put nail wraps on top of those. Because when I got these nail wraps, okay, they were a French manicure. And if you don't have a lot of nail surface, when you trim them, you'll cut all the color off because there's not enough surface there. So I had to put tips on in order to use these manicures, okay? So they came out well. It took forever to do them. We're not going to even discuss how long it took to do them. We're not even going to go there. We're not going to go there. It took a while. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I'm glad they're done. And we'll see how long they last. But the colors are gorgeous. And like I said, if you don't have enough nail surface, and there's the orange, and here's the pink. If you don't have enough nail surface with a manicure style nail wrap, you can't really use them. You can't utilize them very well. So that's just the way it goes. All right, so I like to try to understand why people do the crap that they do. I've always been studying people's insane behavior, trying to figure out what's wrong with them. Okay. And Lee Hammock, he's with Mental Healness. And he's on YouTube, he's on TikTok, I think he's on Instagram. He's probably on every social media platform. And he was talking about some narcissists are self-deprecating. Okay? They're self-deprecating because they want assurance from you that they're not that way. It's a way to manipulate people to give you compliments. Like, I'm such a loser, I can't. I talked to a guy on a dating site once, and that was his whole way of picking up women. I'm such a loser. I don't have good luck with women. I don't even know why I'm on this site. Da 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 da. And he just went on and on and on. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, is this his pickup line? Because that's not gonna work. But some narcissists are like that. They're self-deprecating. We don't really talk about that much. And that's what they do. I'm such a loser. I can't, I just fail at everything. Everything I touch turns to dust. They're just one of those. And it's really obnoxious to be around. I would not imagine they'd have too many friends because their friends would be like really irritated with it, like Okay, like stop. Like why are you doing this type of deal? Let's see. So that can actually, yeah, go a lot. Okay, let me go a little higher than that. Okay, there we go. All right. So, and I did have a friend that did this. We were we were no longer friends after a while because I just couldn't do it anymore. But and it got worse and worse through the years. I mean, way worse through the years, and I just could not handle it anymore. But I remember we went to Minnesota and we were taking these gorgeous nature pictures. He was taking them. And it was the oh, Lake Superior was smashing against the rocks and it was leaving this spray. It was tremendous force and it was just great, you know. And I said, oh, wow, what happened? What went wrong? I said, I noticed that you have a lot of the same pictures. If you just kind of wait it out, you'll actually get the shot that you want. Why did I say that? Ooh. Uh, we had a adjoining hotel room, which he tried to be slick and get us, try to act like they were so booked we'd have to share a room. I'm like, I'll sleep in the car. Don't play with me. He was trying to force intimacy. I told you he's borderline personality in addition to narcissist. I didn't know that at the time. I just knew he was unregulated, dysregulated. Emotions were dysregulated. I didn't know exactly what was going on until I started researching. And I saw a book, and I'll get to my point in a minute. I saw a book that said, I hate you, don't leave me. The only thing missing from that book was his picture. And when I read the synopsis of what the book was about, I was like, oh my freaking God. And then I got the book and I started reading it and I'm like, if this isn't him, I don't know what is. Okay. So that was the borderline part. But anyway, so about the pictures, if you wait it out, you'll actually get the picture that you want. He stood next to the bed, slammed his butt on the seat like a toddler, on the bed like a toddler, and said, I can't do anything right. So yes, some narcs are self-deprecating. Okay. All right. So, I'm such a loser and I never could do anything right. And you've told me this, I don't know how many times, and it's still not sinking in. And maybe I'm just a dummy and, that kind of thing. Because they're trying to get you to say, no, babe, no, you're not. Everybody makes mistakes. It's a manipulation tactic. But they don't know any different because their brain is not correct. Their brain is damaged, right? So they can only do what they can do. They can't do anything different because their brain operates on a different level than the rest of our brains. So logic doesn't hit them. There's nothing you could say or do that's going to give them an aha moment. Their brain doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Okay. Now, the one that I got rid of before we even got started, we went out once. I'd seen him several times prior. He's the one that made the entire outing all about him. Okay. All about him. The whole dragged out process about when he bought his house, whoop-de-doo, I don't care. The whole dragged out process about buying his car, and his dad's always had Buicks, and they've this and that, and his dad's got a Buick this, and he's got a Buick da-da-da-da-da, whatever, and me. Women don't give a flying fuck about that. Unless they're fascinated with cars, they don't care. Unless they're fascinated with how the process of buying a house, which most people, either they already have their home or they'll learn as they go, or they will ask your advice. But they don't want to hear about your personal, let me stand on my soapbox and tell you all about these boring fucking details. Most people don't give a shit about that. And women don't care about that either. And he's just an idiot. He's just so... So I'm trying to figure out what kind of narcissist he is. And I know for a fact that he's a somatic narcissist. Because somatic is, they're very obsessed with their appearance. They will get professional manicures. Yes, men will get manicures. Their nails will look better than a woman's, honey. Sometimes. You'll never see, he's somatic. You'll never catch him with his hair out of place. You will never catch him with wrinkled clothes on. You will never catch him wearing something that doesn't look amazing together. He wears expensive clothes. He likes to spend his money on himself, and it shows in his clothes. He talked about where he shops. I don't give a shit where you shop. I don't care. I don't care. He cannot connect to women at all. So the only way, let me talk about somatic narcissists first. Somatic means related to the body. Okay, so there's all these different types of narcissists, and somatic is one of them. Somatic means related to the body, and a somatic narcissist is someone who is preoccupied with their physical appearance and derives much of their self-worth from external validation, which is probably why he has such a high sex drive, because he needs to know that you think that he's as amazing as he thinks he is. He is grandiose and entitled. Just because I breathe, I should get sex. And if I'm in a relationship, this is the way he thinks. If I'm in a relationship, I should get sex as often as I want. I don't want to hear that you have a headache. I don't want to hear that you don't feel well. I don't want to hear you're super stressed. You're not really mentally in that place right now. You've got a big inspection at work tomorrow. The big guys from the home office are coming in to inspect, and you're just not really, they ain't trying to hear all that. They ain't trying to hear all that, okay? As you can see, from his lack of stimulating conversation, because guys don't want to hear that either. All right, dude, let me talk to you about, okay, we're going to break down all the procedures for me buying my home. We're going to start with Exhibit A. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to. My God, could you be more boring? Can you? Can you? Tell me something exciting. Tell me that you went horseback riding on the beach, which is something I'd love to do. Tell me that you ziplined in Africa, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, it has the longest zip line in the world, I think, is in Africa. Tell me that you ziplined it. Tell me that you, I don't know, climbed up a multi-tiered waterfall. Tell me something exciting. You buying your house is boring as fuck. You telling me about your car is boring as fuck. Okay? So obviously this person, this entity cannot connect to women. Cannot connect to women. Okay? I'm a woman and I know what to say to women. Hey, how you doing? My name's Brian. How are you? Nice to meet you, Susie. I hope you're not, I hope you don't mind. I noticed that you're sitting here by yourself. Do you mind if I grab a coffee and sit with you? I mean, like I said, I hope I'm not being too forward. If she's okay with you sitting with her, if you are charming and friendly and warm and she doesn't feel like you're going to do something horrible to her, she might be okay with you sitting with her. Sure, why not? Women want to hear things that connect us to you. We want you to be interested in us. What a freaking concept. What is wrong with me? I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go to therapy because I'm thinking about somebody else, and that's just not the way the world works. I'm sorry. I hope you guys can forgive me. Anyway, you ask about that person. What do you like to do? Where are you originally from? Do you like to travel? Have you ever traveled outside the United States? What was Paris like? Paris? I always wanted to go to Paris. What do you think of Paris? Do you have, if I ever go, do you have any recommendations of spots I can hit? This is a lot more stimulating than, here's the procedure for when I bought my house. Okay? A, I chose the house I wanted to buy, and then I went to look at it. And then, don't make me slap your face. Boring as hell. God, that's boring. But he can't connect. The only way that he can connect is through sex. And that's not a connection either. Surprise. That's not a connection either. That's just making him feel good. So if you climax, that's great. But if you don't, that's great too, because he got his cookies off. Okay. So when I looked up sexual narcissism, because he's got a real emphasis on sex, barf. It's all he can offer besides headaches and nightmares. Sexual narcissism basically says it's okay. Sexual narcissism refers to narcissistic traits that are only prevalent in a person's sex life. It typically involves behaviors of sexual entitlement, sexual exploitation, a lack of sexual empathy, and a grandiose sense of their sexual skill. I do believe he has all of these as well, but he's not solely a sexual narcissist. He's somatic too, because, I got to go get back to the gym and I got to get my body back straight again, work out my muscles and So he's all about appearance. You will never, do you understand what I'm telling you? You could catch him in a goddamn tornado and none of his hair will be out of place, baby. All right? His hair will be perfect. Understand that. Okay? His clothes will be beautiful. His hair will be beautiful. It'll be sharply trimmed in the back of his neck. You're not going to see caterpillars in the back of his neck. It'll be sharply. Everything's going to be perfect because that's who he is. I got to present myself to be the God that I am. Okay? But he's not a sexual narcissist, but he does have sexual entitlement. He does have sexual exploitation. He does exploit women for sex. And he has a lack of sexual empathy and a grandiose sense of sexual skill. He probably is convinced that he's amazing in bed. And I can tell you right now, you're not amazing in bed. And you probably, women, if they have I don't know what was wrong with the women he was with. I don't know what was wrong with them, that they did not pick up on the fact that he doesn't give two shits about you. The only thing he could talk about is what he wants to talk about and let you know that when we get in a relationship, which isn't a relationship, it's a manipulationship. It always is a manipulationship with a narcissist. Make no bones about that. He's letting you know right out the gate, I expect a lot of sex, because he's saying, what was the stupidness he said to me? I have a very high sex drive. And he showed me a picture of his hot tub and it fits two people. I can buy one of those. If that's all you have to offer, you need to get out of my face. Moving right along. What is a seductive narcissist? Now he might be more on the this type of terminology. All right. This kind of narcissist is the one who is so seductive. He makes you like or believe in him or her with your whole heart. In my personal opinion, this type is the most dangerous of all narcissists. That's from Psych Central, by the way. I don't know why, and this is where, okay. So ladies, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you real quick, okay? You have to have discipline when you're dealing with these fools. You have to have discipline, okay? If you don't have discipline, they will take advantage of your panties being off 99.9% of the time because you will not tell them no. You will not hold back. We just met each other. Chill. We just met. Okay? I gave him the same energy he gave me. 0. There was no energy directed my way. None. absolutely no energy directed my way because he was too enthused with himself. Okay. So there's like an electrical force field around us. And when you click with somebody right away, both of your energy is in sync. You don't have to work on it. You don't have to pray on it. You don't have to concentrate really hard. No. You're either in sync with this person or you're not in sync with this person. I was zero, totally not in sync with him whatsoever because he's in love with himself and all of the energy was, he was directing all his energy into himself, recycling his energy, not outward where you could feel the love, it's inward. So there's nothing about that that's cute. He's somatic. He's hypersexual because he feels entitled. And the reason why he mentioned I have to get back in the gym and work on my muscles, get my muscles back in shape, is because he expects to be naked with whoever is a sucker, whoever falls for his bullshit. He expects to be naked whenever, on a drop of a dime. He don't want to hear no excuses. Absolutely no reasons and no excuses. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I know you have a migraine. I know you can't stand the light being on because it hurts. Turn the light off and get down there and handle your business. Bob for apples. Let's go. Because it ain't about you anyway. It's about him. So, and of course, there's women narcs too, right? So there's women narcs that use their sex drive and their sexual antics in bed. They use that to make men weak because men do get weak for that. I talked to a guy recently who had that happen. And the question was asked to him, well, how did you end up back with her so many times or whatever? He said, well, and you already know where he's going with this. Well, she's pretty good in bed. And exactly. I already knew the answer before he said it. Because that's what women use because it works. It always works. Always. Let me lay you real good and get your toes curled, and you will put up with some more, and some more, and some more, and some more of my bullshit. So, yeah, somatic, and he's sexually exploitive. To be quite honest, not a good person. Not a good person. Now, if I had never met him one-on-one, just me and him, I would have thought he's real. Okay, myself, my other friend, and other people in the previous group that I was part of, I'm still part of them, but not really phased to go out with them anymore. I love my me time, to be quite honest with you. I do. It's so much more peaceful, and it's not stupid and gossipy and backstabbing, and when you need something, everybody just doesn't answer their phone. I don't have to deal with that anymore. So it's kind of nice. Beautiful, actually. You know that these people cannot be relied on except for a couple. Only a couple of them. The rest of them are too busy admiring their reflection in the mirror. Anyway, move right along. So, and yes, there's plenty of narcissists in meetup groups too. Plenty of it. Don't you think there's not? And I met him in a meetup group. So, one-on-one. No, correction. Dealing with him with just the group in a casual setting with all of us bouncing ideas off of each other and having, these conversations seems like a great guy. Wait till you meet him one-on-one. He's a proud peacock and he's strutting around and nobody can tell him nothing. Wow. My friend told me, I thought he was a nice guy. I'm sure everybody thinks he's a nice guy. I said, spend time with him one-on-one and you will find out that is Wrong. And there's been women in the group that have been mistreated by other men, men hypersexualizing them and going from woman to woman to woman to woman, trying to get their phone number and trying to get their legs open. And he doesn't do that. So you would think, oh, well, at least he doesn't do that. No, he's just as bad, if not worse. He's just more covert. Some, and Lee talked about this tonight too, some narcissists, and I've seen this, they come off shy, quiet, harmless. Well, what do you want to do, babe? Well, whatever you want to do. Well, let's go to your favorite Italian restaurant. Yeah, we could do that. Agreeable, mellow, super chill, never gets excited. Don't you think that that's all that they are? Because a lot of them are hiding rage. I went out with someone I met on a dating site. We actually were in a relationship, if that's what you want to call it. He was a narcissist too. And he's super chill, super laid back, never gets upset, never gets excited. But I've seen when he's angry. He wasn't angry. Well, he was angry at me that one time because that's a long story. You don't have time for that story. Yeah. Anyway, super chill, harmless, wouldn't hurt a fly. Don't let that fool you. He has PTSD from whatever he has it from, or so he says. He's known to have, or he's using that as an excuse to hide his rage. The rage didn't come out very often, but it did come out. Now, if you go by the super chill personality, you would think, oh, I want to snuggle him all the time. I want to have a long-term relationship with this guy. He's harmless and he's so laid back and he's so chill and I just adore him. Wrong. Wrong answer. He's a prick. He just hides it well. He doesn't have fits in front of other people because he doesn't want other people to know that he's capable of that. But yeah, some of them, they're self-deprecating, like I said, like Lee mentioned. Self-deprecating. I can't do anything right. I'm a complete failure. I remember one time, one that I used to know, Henderson, went to church and he got like a church boner because he opened the door for me because he's trying to perpetrate to the people that are in their cars in the parking lot. He's trying to perpetrate to them. See, I walk over to her door and I open it for her and I help her out of the vehicle because I'm such a great guy. Then this is what caused his church boner. You shouldn't have boners at church, but he had a fucking boner. She said, the lady saw him do that and said to her husband, oh, he opens the door for her. Girl, don't let that shit fool you. He's a freaking rattlesnake. Cheating, lying, thieving, BDSM fascination with, major fascination with BDSM, major fascination with naked campsites. Who you see is not who they really are. Y'all know that, especially those of you who have been in relationships with narcs for a long time. You already know that. The glitz and the glamour that they show you is all for show. And then he picked up on the fact that she said that and said, oh, did you hear what she said? I said, what? She goes, oh, he opens a door for her. And I'm like, yeah. Because he was still trying to perpetrate to me that he was a gentleman too. His parents should have kept their clothes on the night that he was created. Okay? They should have kept their goddamn clothes on. Your kid who's a narc is like a poster child for birth control. Okay? Yeah. poster child for birth control. Anyway, major loser. God, a loser, 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 loser. So, yeah, so there's different types. Like I said, there's different types of narcs. They're phony as fuck. Some of them are communal. Let's talk about communal. The communal narc is full of shit too. They hold fundraisers. They raise a lot of money for all these causes and, this, that, and the other for, I don't know, raise money for disabled children or raise money to help kids in a foreign country so that they can have wells built in their country so they can have fresh water and, on and on and on. And everybody thinks they're amazing because they have these get-togethers and these fundraisers and, excuse me, fundraisers, and they raise all this money for a really good cause. They're very personable. Hey, thank you for your donation today. What's your name? Mr. Simmons. Nice to see you again. I remember I saw you last time. I love that tie with that shirt. You always look good. Thank you for your donation. You're amazing. And this is their political personality that they show the whole world. I smile all the time. I help raise money. I'm so concerned about people in Africa with dirty water. Just breaks my heart that they don't have clean water. And they're full of shit. They're doing all the right things. And they're perpetrating to the public that they're amazing. But they're only doing it so that people think that they're amazing, not because they're amazing. They need you to think that they're amazing. They need everybody to talk about them when they go to lunch, when they go home and change their clothes the same day or whatever the next day. Oh, it's so great to see Bob again. Bob's doing another great cause. He's a great man. He's if something ever happens to him, we're gonna be in a world of hurt because he's just a really, unselfish guy. He's just amazing. He's got so much care for other people. Stop it. That's not always true. It's not always true. They are communal. They do it for the community. They do it for the public. The public could think that they're amazing. Okay. They do it for the public. They need their ego fed by doing great, amazing things so that everybody thinks that this person's amazing, when in reality, they're not. They're only doing it for self-serving reasons. Okay. Now, is everybody who raises money a horrible person? Of course not. But don't think that there's not communal narcissists that do that to feed their own ego, because that is exactly why they do it. If they're a narcissist, that's why they do it. And that's called a communal narcissist. So the behaviors are similar all across the board, but then there's emphasis on certain things that they do, like to impress the community or raise money for a good cause so that everybody thinks they're just so awesome. The behaviors of the selfishness, grandiose behavior, the entitlement, all of that is the same, but the behavior might manifest differently. And that's where the different names come from, the different types of narcissism or narcissist that there are. Okay. Much love. You guys have a happy new year. I don't know what bullshit's in store, but I guess we'll find out. And I prayed a lot. Regardless how Billy Badass people think they are, filled with narcissism from their feet all the way to the top of their head, getting away with everything. Prayer will bust through all of that, and that's what I'm leaning on. And I need you guys to pray too, because our country is in a world of hurt. Okay, our country's in a world of hurt. And we know why. Those of us who are alert know why. So we've got to pray. That's all we can do. Keep the prayers coming. Okay? Send them up. Send them up. You guys take care. Much love. Happy New Year.